Hello and welcome to this tutorial on composing in Garageband and how to expand your ideas. I've written an idea and input it on grand piano. This is only 4 bars long and it is mainly chordal movement. Some of the chords are the same, some of them are different, with a few added passing notes in between in the right hand. After I've done that, I picked out the bass notes, which happen to be F, G, F, E, F, E, D, E. Okay, so that's our 4 bars, and what I did with that bass is I turned it into what's called a loop. So if you click at the end of that little recording and pull it along, you get what's called a loop, and it repeats on and on until you say stop. Okay, then the next instrument I put in was some violins. And what I did was mostly play the upper right hand notes, and I put a solo violin on top as well, just to bring out the tune a bit more, but let's listen to it anyway. And then I added in another line of violins on top to bring out the upper notes. And I found when I listened to that there was quite a large gap in between the violins and the bass. So what you need then is a cello to fill in that gap. And if you look again at the piano music, there's some sustain notes. So what I did was I put in C's, double them up in the cellos. The harmony changes, I put in the next 2 notes of the harmony, which were A's and B's and C's, and A's and B's and C's. So this seemed to work and fill in that gap, and this is what it sounds like. In come the violins. Woodwind and stringed instruments blend really well together. So on top of those violins, one loop later, I added in some flutes. In the flute section, I created a harmony which fits in 1/3 above the violin. So the violin starts on an A and the flute starts on a C. I doubled up. The woodwind instrument, 1 octave above, is called a piccolo. So to imitate a piccolo, if we don't have it in the woodwind, put another line of notes above that 1 octave higher. This is what it sounds like. So what we want to do is add a little bit of percussion interest. And if we put it in between the loops, it has a trick of drawing the ear away from the fact that the loop is looping and we're repeating the same 4 bars. Remember, we only have 4 bars of music and we're now after creating 24 bars. And another trick is to bring in an instrument that you don't need to loop, that you can just hold some sustained notes. Violins playing tremolo. And when violins playing tremolo, when it's played really, really high, if you look here, they're really, really high, they sound like a shimmering or shivering. The notes are playing so rapidly, it adds a little sparkle. But if they play it really low, it's scary. Kind of pleasant. Now, of course, you have to pick notes out of the chords that are in the music, and the overall effect is we start from here. I put in a instrument that sparkles as well, remind you of the sparkling rays of sunshine or the reflection on a lake. It's just gentle crotchets on a... First I tried the glockenspiel, but then I realised the tremolo phone had much nicer sound. So when you are choosing instruments, just pick the ones you like, even if you have never heard of them before. Experiment, that's what the fun is about. So let's hear our glockenspiel or tremolo phone come in. So after I did that, I went off and had a cup of tea and came back and I tried out the piano part on the harp, and this is what I got, along with the double bass. And after I did that, I broke the harp into arpeggio notes. Okay, so I thought then that harp could play on for the whole of this little piece, and it did too, and it sounds rather good. Then there's one final little addition I made. Another nice sound that I like on Garageband were singers, South African singers, and I thought for a moment that, you know, sunrise or sunset is kind of a holy time of day and people would sing in lullabies going to sleep. So I gave them a go and tried our little 4-bar tune with them. the end, for final touch, if you go to the little down button that's beside the volumes, you can pull up a little track that is actually the volume. And as you click on it, you can move the little dot up and down to make the instrument sound louder or softer. You can create a fade in, which I did with the singers, a fade out here at the end on the violins, and it's a very helpful tool. So then the final piece will sound like this. Hope you enjoyed it.